Madam,
Yeah.
ma'am, we can start the class.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon to the students, those who are present today. So today and the next class will be really interesting because we're going to talk about something which is everywhere you find out on the internet. Everybody is trying to, attract you to do all these kinds of courses with them, and it is a trending topic now, and that is about generative AI. So today I'm going to tell you about generative because see, firstly, all of us should know that before we use these generative AI tools, we also should know that how this generative AI tool is developed and who have developed, what was the purpose of it. So a small, few minute session on OpenAI, which has come out with the generative AI. Well, because as an engineering student or maybe as an IT student, you should know the process behind that, the model behind that, also the technique behind that. Then the next session will be again very interesting. Result being that the next session, I'm going to tell you 10 tools, 10 generative tools, which is going to make you succeed in your life as well as trying to give you certain edge over the other. So like I was seeing a lot of programs on the social networking side which says become 10x of yourself, or exponentially develop and grow yourself. Because today students, remember, we want people who can work with generative AI. If you want to beat generative AI and say that I don't want to use it, I don't know how to use it, but I don't care about it, then you are the person who's fooling yourself. You will lose the rat race which is happening. The company or the organization want people who can work and develop generative AI tools. So that is a reason these two sessions are very important. Today's first session is about understanding the technique, the model behind the generative AI, and also where it is used and how companies are using it. And what do they want? What kind of people now they want? Second session will be basically followed up with a session where I'm going to give you a demo of various tools. With using those tools, you can understand how generative AI you can use in Microsoft Office package. And remember, if you have to use Excel, which is a very important skill today, you have to remember around 270 or more than that kind of formula. And even if you are very good into Excel, you can't remember all these formula. Generative AI, you don't have to. What if I tell that in generative AI, you don't have to learn those kinds of formulas? You can easily generate, you can do so many, you can extract the data directly from, pull the data, import the data directly from the website. It will do automatically everything how ChatGPT does. So how then again about ChatGPT? There are people who know that there is a chat GPT, but they don't know what is the idea behind that. They don't know how to use it properly. Like till today, I tell my students that you don't know how to search on Google. Google, you can do a smart search or you can do a dumb search. Most of us end doing dumb search and we don't get what we are doing. So that is what we are going to do it in these two sessions. Very important. How do you make PowerPoint without spending any time? So how many of you like or are excited about it? This is so good today that, isn't it amazing that you don't have to make a PowerPoint? For the PowerPoint, what do? You first search the content. Then you create a design of the PPT. You are not happy about it. You search the images. You do so many things. It almost take you for 9 slides. It may take you around 3 to 4 hours. That is the kind of time it takes. What if I tell you that you can do it within few minutes and you can generate everything? Today all the organizations, marketing especially, is generating, coming up with a generative AI ads. You might have seen recently a Sunfeast ad of Shah Rukh Khan, which was very trending on the WhatsApp. That in that particular Sunfeast ad of the biscuits, the Chocofill biscuit, you can replace the lady with you. and you can upload your picture, and it gives you one chance where you can upload your picture, and then you can download a particular advertisement where you can see the Shah Rukh Khan doing that video, doing that ad with you. That is all possible because of generative AI. So today, students, you can't deny the presence of generative AI. It is the present, and within a few years, it is again is going to become outdated. But then, for next few years, it will be a trending thing. There will be lot and lot of tools which are going to generate it. There are a lot number of courses. So my suggestion, serious suggestion to all of you, that you have to learn generative AI. There is no escape of it. So it is better that you learn now and try to practice in your day to day life, that you become mastery of it. So let without uh, so I'm just going to now first tell you a brief about what is open AI or generative AI, and then we are going to talk about the tools, how it is used in the with the company. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. I'll just share the slides. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about this. This is the generation. This is the demand of today. This is something which everybody wants. Everybody wants to learn how to use, make a PowerPoint, Word document, how to make an advertisement, a poster, a brochure, a video, without any time, without thinking, and all kinds of creativity. So who said that creativity is something which the AI can't do? Generative AI has proven you wrong. Please understand the technique behind it, because little knowledge again is a dangerous thing, isn't it? So what I want you to do is let it be excited. Have some energy in the show me some energy in the chat box. Write down, yes ma'am, I'm excited, I want to learn this, I want to know about this. Then only we can initiate. If I have any idea, I can just share it with you. I am still doing a course and researching a lot on generative AI. You won't imagine, last Sunday, I am actually at the later stage of my career where I have achieved whatever I have to achieve till now. And I don't require to actually go ahead and do certain courses. But this is my personality where I am interested in learning new things. And I just came across on the Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm an old generation, so I can tell you that. So I came across a Facebook, one particular advertisement, and on YouTube also, which says that with 100 rupees you can learn generative AI. And remember, 3 hours I spent with these IIT engineers students who have created a company, and they're doing really wonders. And they did a course on 3 hours on Sunday, and I sat for 3 hours from 11 to 2 p.m. without thinking that this is my holiday, I have to spend time with my family, or I have to relax and all. I was so excited. Not even a single minute in that particular meeting or in that particular online training, I felt that I should not. This is because of the interest. So if you are interested, you will stick to the session. If you're not interested, whatever content your experts are bringing or your trainers are bringing, you will derive no takeaway from that. So please be interested. Please spend some time and see that how exciting it is and how interesting it is to learn different kinds of things. So learning only about Python R is not enough. So we're going to talk about that. How? So when you're talking about generative AI, generative AI is a tool which is developed by a company called OpenAI. So OpenAI, student, is the San Francisco-based company who is behind your GPT-3, which has become very popular. So the and this idea of coming up with the open AI company came because of one debate which goes around on the internet, saying that within the AI community, everybody debate that can open again. AI is advancing of the AI is a threat for us or not. Is it going to take away our job or not? So everybody is feared of the future AI. So that is a reason there are two kind of perspective about AI. There are even the people who are developing, even the company who are developing. Like for example, the Ray Kajriwal, the futurist learning director of Google, and Ray Kajriwal, who is also heading the generative AI or department in Google. He also is a positive force behind the person behind the concept of AI, who says that yes, AI is good, we have to develop, but it should be beneficial for people. Today people are scared of AI, not only that it is going to take away your job, but also students, it is going to harm your positions. It is going to be scary because you have to learn, keep on learning new techniques. So he is a person who says that AI is going to be beneficial for human being. It is going to give them more time, more relaxation with their own time, and it is going to reduce their time or effort in doing certain things. For example, as I said, that you can make PPT in 3 hours with generative AI, you can make in 15 or 20 minutes. And fantastic ideas. You don't have to go and do the research and all. Next class, I'm going to show you how to do that. So it is so interesting. So it should be for the beneficial of human being. A common person should know how to use AI. Last class I showed you how the open AI is used. So on the other hand, there are certain set of people, like for example Bill Gates, who's a CEO, former CEO of Microsoft. He, though the Microsoft is the company who has bought OpenAI and included, but Bill Gates always have a fear and always have a worry that AI is both amazing at the same time dangerous. He fears, for example, that AI being applied as a warfare, you know. So we say two sets of people, utopia and dystopia. One people favoring it, one people is saying no, we cannot. This is dangerous. At the same time, Elon Musk, who you might have seen now recent ads of Elon Musk about quantum AI, where he's developing quantum AI for stock prediction. So you don't have to now go through several studies, and even in the stock marketing apps, and you have to do investment. You don't know which is a sure shot. So you want a better return on your investment. Quantum AI is going to do that for you. So Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, he also spoke about both the positive and negative side of the AI. But what he did, he came out with a kind of a futuristic view of beneficial AI. And so what he did with Stephen Hawking, for example, the Stephen Hawking is also a person, if you know about him, he's a physicist and he's no more now, but you might have seen the movie A Theory of Everything. So he is a person who also spoke about he always promoted and advocate that AI should be meant for human being in a way that a common person should not fear away from using AI. It should not be a services which is available for the engineers and for the company to use. Let the common people also avail this facility. They should also know it should be a day-to-day phenomena to be used. So in October 2015, Elon Musk, along with Sam Altman, and the Sam Altman is a president of the startup of accelerator company called Y Combinator, a very big company, and the co-founder of LinkedIn, Reid Hoffman, and then also the Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal. They created a company called OpenAI, and this then the corporation like Microsoft, Infosys, not Infosys of India, Infosys, there is a company, a global company, very big company. They also become the founding member of this company. And this company was a non-business organization, not NGO, non-business organization. Means they wanted to develop a product and services using AI, which will be open for all the common people and easy for them to use without having the knowledge of AI. So this, these partners, they open AI to promote and develop friendly AI to just for the benefit of humanity, and they were committed to their cause for this particular cause. So the entire founding team, which I told you, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Reid Hoffman, and even the Microsoft, they all pledged $1 billion, and they created this organization. And the mission was very clear. that OpenAI would focus on ensuring that artificial general intelligence, the new term came up. Students again pay attention. Interesting term, AGI, in artificial general intelligence, is going to benefit the world. They're going to build an AI which will be considered as a mission to fulfill the work, achieving the same kind of outcome which a company can. So this company organization, students started as a non-profit organization in 2015, in 2016 with 9 researchers. But by April, what they did, they came up with the first product in 2016 April, which was called "You Should Know All These Things." Because today, when you go for an interview to any company, believe me, I have set of people. I keep continuously keep a track on the placement, and they say that they are asking about generative. They want people who have good knowledge about generative AI, and that means you should also know. Knowledge means you should always have known the background, the history of it. So OpenAI company, you know now. So have you understood? What did I tell you? Isn't it exciting that OpenAI, the name, have you ever thought? We always know, okay, GPT company. There's no company called GPT. The company is called OpenAI. Right? Amazing, isn't it? And what is OpenAI? Means open for all, AI open for all, available to all in a very, very simple and easier way. So in April 2016, students, they came up with their first product, and was called OpenAI Gym. This was a toolkit for developing and comparing reinforcement learning algorithm. Maybe you might have heard about reinforcement learning, supervised, unsupervised reinforcement. So reinforcement learning is when the computer employee do a trial and error method to come up with a solution for a problem. When you are a coder, what do? You write a coding program. You have a client, let's say the Karnataka police is your client, and you have to develop one particular solution to do something related to, or to help people, catching criminals or something, identifying the pattern or something like that, or maybe an identified body which is fully burned. How do you recreate the image of the person with, and try to help the police to get the identity of that person? Let's say something like that. For that, you do trial and error method in the coding because nobody else has done it. That is called reinforcement method. So it reinforcement method also involved reward and penalty for doing anything. In December 2016, again they came up with something called Universe, and this was a platform for enabling AI software to interact with computers, such as what is on the screen, and use virtual keyboard and mouse. So you don't need a keyboard, physical keyboard and mouse. So you could use that. And but this all, product and services which they came out, this didn't become very famous until in 2018. OpenAI published a paper on something. Their researcher paper published a paper called Generative Pre-trained, technology, and that came up with the first version of GPT software. Isn't it interesting? GPT-3 or GPT-4 is not the first version. GPT was the first version which they came out, and it didn't become at all popular. The detail of the GPT and generative model I'm going to discuss next, so that you know what is a thing behind that, so that how it is developed. So AI became an open source and freely available with GPT, but they didn't market it so well. And they wanted to keep a transparency. They wanted to benefit all the humanity. They would want to make AI sound not so scary, so simple. Until GPT version 3 was made, GPT was not known to anybody, isn't it? How many of you know about GPT before 2022 May, when it became very popular, trending? Everybody started using, so much of debate. It should be banned. University students should not get it. Now also people have a lot of myth about GPT. I will say a lot of myth. Today also, yesterday only, I was actually having a debate with a person in my university, and the person actually we were doing a interview, and not interview, it interview for a promotion of professors, and then we gave them some tasks. We gave them certain kind of a problem or a case study and asked them to develop a solution within 10 minutes. And immediately one of the of my colleagues said that don't use ChatGPT. And Later on, when the entire thing is done, I just ask why we should not be using chat gpt. It is not unethical, it is not illegal, it is something which is going to help you in doing your work better. It is going to reduce your time in doing what you do in hours in minutes. So what is the harm in using that? I use chat gpt, but I take ideas from there, and I don't publish it because it is somebody else's work which is summarized and given. And we have to give credit to that person because it's not our original work. So you have to be very ethical in using in a way that you should be responsible. Okay. So next session, I will be telling you certain tools which will amaze you. It will be exciting. It will be so interesting. But then you have to use that tools very ethically and very mindfulness with a mindfulness. So GPT version 3 became immediately very popular when the entire media started talking about GPT 3 available. But what happened? GPT-3 available in May 22, they announced, and everybody started using. Then everybody started knowing about GPT-3. Everybody created an account in GPT-3, and they started. But still, I will say that almost all of us, including me, we don't know how to use GPT properly. What is the kind of productivity which we can get? I'll show some example because I'm still doing the course and research on GPT-3. What happened later? After this, Microsoft in 2019, they came forward, they pumped in $1 billion and they bought the company called OpenAI. It is still called OpenAI, but they bought this company. Now, after this, the Microsoft became the owner of this particular technology and this powered AI platform, especially the GPT. There are not now many tools which has come up, but the more powerful tools, DALI and Codex, and this is owned by the Microsoft now. And what happened after that? Because Elon Musk came out with a purpose and founded this company with his friends to benefit and give it free of cost to the people. So till GPT 3.5, it was free of cost. Now the latest version, GPT 4, is not at all free of cost. You have to subscribe and you have to pay for it, which is one of the best tool available. I'll tell you also that how GPT 4 is different from GPT 3.5. So, though Elon Musk left the company, he resigned from his seat because it was conflicting with his interest, what he actually, with which he formed the company to benefit the human being free of cost. But Microsoft, why do you think a company will buy a product? They want a return on their investment. So the mission of giving benefit the humanity was lost because of this. There is also a book called Open Ethics. You can computer ethics. You can read about that book. It also where the Elon Musk and all these people spoke about that, how the AI should be available to everybody. But ultimately, the Microsoft bought it because they want to integrate the generative AI feature into their star product called Microsoft Office, and which they have already done. Now, for that, you have to, and they made the cost of Microsoft Office 365 a very high priced. So today you get Microsoft 365. If you want to subscribe, you have to pay more than 35,000. And that money, when you give, then only you have with this thing that with 35,000 you get this particular thing. So this is where the thing is coming. So I'm going to just go ahead because this is something which will bore you people. So what is the technology, students, behind this? The technology of AI which is used behind the GPT-3 or anything is called natural language processing. So NLP, GPT-3 use a large amount of existing content and use it to create original output. So input is your command, which is also called GPT prompt engineering. Today, people are getting certificate students on prompt engineering. And I will do a small session on prompt engineering. You do need not do any courses. You can go online and you can read about it little bit. I will also tell you prompt engineering. If you say to a company that I know prompt engineering, immediately you have a higher chance of getting hired. So prompt engineering is becoming a big term in the IT industry now. So the quality of output is so high, which is generated by GPT. It is difficult for you to distinguish from something which is written by human. So today we say AI written text and human written text. So the to enable coming, to get a high quality output from the GPT-3, you computer, science basically uses the domain of AI called natural language processing, which I was telling you. So GPT-3 was one of the most popular product, and it also used NLP is also used in certain other devices before we go ahead with GPT-3, like voice command digital devices like Alexa, Google Home, and when we ask our smartphone or laptop through voice, Google search, all these things. So this device listen to your word and try to make sense out of it and derive the meaning and process the output for you, because one of the very important thing is that this technique need to understand the input given by you, the prompt given by you, and then execute the action using a kind of a interpretation of that. Now I will show you that how the interpretation can be different if we don't use AI. So this is done through natural language processing. This is a technology which will make sense of the voice command or any text input to the computer, will interpret that. So this NLP function is used in chatbots. This is used nowadays in search engine. This is used in language translation, spell check, sentiment analysis, where you pull all the comments given on your for your company from social networking site, which is called text mining, and then interpreting whether it is positive, negative, or neutral comment for the company, and then responding to that. So at a high level, NLP generally works like this. The software need to pre-process the text sentence in order to provide some kind of a output and interpretation of that. Okay. So for that, what it does. So this is what I told you. So for example, let's say that if I write a sentence like this, this is an input. He does not play, but my daughter is in hockey team. Okay. So now when I write this particular sentence, what happens in this particular sentence? When, as a human being, we read student sentence, we easily, what do you understand about whom this person is talking about? Can anybody write in the chat box? What do you think about whom if they are writing? Anybody can tell? No? Okay, he says he does not play, but my daughter is on a hockey team. Come on. Is he talking about the doctor, a daughter, or is he talking about the son? He means, firstly, that you understand it's a male. He can be a son or he can be somebody else. But here, because he is just telling about the daughter, you may imagine that it can be son about whom he is talking about, because he has used the word daughter. But it can be a brother also, like my brother doesn't play, or it can be somebody else also, or maybe the daughter friend also, a daughter husband also, some anything it can be. So this is something where you require some intelligence. You know that in the competitive exam, students, you get questions like this, where you have these kinds of sentence and they say, okay, find the relationship. This is where the intelligence is tested. So you have to identify the context and you have to find out the word out of it. So machine learning algorithm interpret the data. They use a statistical model based on vast volume of science. See, when you're preparing for a competitive exam, what do? These kinds of questions where you have to find relationship or you have to identify about whom they are talking, you practice a lot of sums. And it builds experience in you, and then you can solve the sum in the exam. Similarly, that experience need to be built with a huge volume of similar kind of data, which is also called pre-processed text, and the ML algorithm analyze this pre-processed text and try to come up with a probable context or probable thing, which is also in a word called something called. So what it does before it does it divide the entire sentence into the tokens. These are called tokens. So every word, it is segmenting into words. So you can see he does not, all these are word, one, two, three, so many words are there. The entire sentence is divided into word, and then this is called tokenization. This is the process of NLP. I'm just giving you a small overview because NLP is very fast. And then from here, for every word, it try to find out the stem word of that. Right. So this is how the tokenization happens. And then the context, every word will be interpreted and they try to generate new content or generate a meaning out of it. So you can see here, every word is tokenized. And this is called the pre-processing of thing. And they basically identify and tagged it as noun, verb, adjective, pronoun. This process is also called in NLP stemming. Okay. So after that, they found the root word. For example, you're using banking. Okay, so what is the root word of banking? Bank. So that is called stemming. Okay, the root word to find out the root word. So this process is called NLG. NLG is a new term which is right from NLP, which is used in GPT or which is used in generative AI. It is called natural language generation. It takes the input from the user and break it into sentence tokenization, which we say, and then do the stemming and do all these kinds of things which I told you, and then generate a new output by deriving or getting that information and generating a new output for you, which is unique for you. That is the reason it is called natural language generation. Okay. Now let's talk about GPT-3. GPT-3 is also, what is the full form of GPT-3? Anybody who can write down in the chat box if you know? Anybody who can tell me? Come on, students. Can you tell what is GPT-3? Yeah. Anybody who can tell me? Just give me a few seconds. Okay. So GPT-3 stands for GPT-3 is a version. It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformation. Okay. And this GPT-3 became very popular. That's why everybody says GPT-3, GPT-3. So it uses an advanced algorithm. That means a set of rules for problem solving. That means it generate or create original human-like text from a input as a form of a output. So natural language processing produces natural language generation, NLG, which I told you, NLG, which is generated. So NLP is used to understand your input. NLG is a output which it produces after understanding. It can create a lot of things. It can create a meaningful story for you. It can create a poem for you. It can create an email, chatbot, responses, software code, all these things for you. So you have to make sure that just a minute for a second. So it can do anything. I will show you the sample of this. but you should know how to do it. You have to just write certain thing in a plain English, and it is going to give you the thing. For example, it can make a legal contract for you. It can explain the legal contract for you. It can, so it uses a generative model which is called LLM, large language modeling, and because of that, it can take the corpus of content from the various database which is available as a training data. If you remember last class, I told you how training data help in making the machine learn and give the output to you. So it acquire the varieties of data from the various resources, and then, like for example, in this case, in GPT case, they take the data mostly from Wikipedia and common crawls. Okay, so they take the data from Wikipedia and common crawls, and they summarize that data for you, and they generate a new data. Okay, so to help make the system smart to speak, the text need to have a content. I will tell you that, for example, how does it work? For example, you write a sentence like once upon. How many of you can complete this sentence? Come on, write in the chat box. Yes. Yes. Can anybody tell me? Just a minute, huh? Just a minute. Just a minute. Just give me a few seconds. Yeah. Can you all write it in the chat box? That how many of you feel that it can what will be the next sentence according to you? I am not able to get that chat box. Let me just try it out again. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. So what happens when you actually go for uh, when I'm talking about something like, for example, I don't know where this screen thing is gone, but anyway, I'll just try it out again. Mac is giving me trouble. Yes. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. So when I say that this particular sentence comes in front of you, once upon, everybody will say once upon a time. It's like a story which your teachers might have played. That okay, complete the story. So it's a once upon a time there was a king. Obviously, then you complete the story, you make up the story and all. You generate a story because this is what you have experienced from your beginning, from your childhood. Your parents, your teachers, everybody has, make you hear certain kinds of stories which starts from once upon a time. There was a king. So automatically it comes to your mind because your experience with that. You don't have to think so much about it. But a computer to come out with that It has to use certain kinds of experience. Nobody goes and tell computer a story, isn't it? How funny it will be when you go to the computer and say, I will make you learn, listen to my story. It doesn't happen like that. You have to feed the data. So it takes all these data from the Wikipedia, from Prom and Crawl, and uses a kind of a technology called deep learning. Okay, so deep learning, it uses the power of AI called deep learning, which is based on 70 years of research in neural network. So this network power the AI learning by processing and consuming training data. So it will make the computer learn. For example, in order to recognize a bicycle by a computer, you have to feed a lot of pictures of bicycle in all shapes, size. Today we get a lot of bicycles, exercise, mountain bicycle, this bicycle, that. But all the bicycle will have two wheels, will have certain similar features, similar pattern. So you feed all kinds of bicycle picture and write it bicycle, and the computer is trained. So whenever the similar kind of a picture which has some similarity with the bicycle, it will understand. You don't have need a training for this because you have understood by looking at so many, sites of bicycles, and any bicycle you see, it's bicycle. So this is how the neural network help the computer mimic the function of brain. That's why it's called neural network. Neurons, the cell neurons in our brain, the structure of that, it mimics that. So it looks through the camera at certain bicycle, we immediately recognize that this is called the, this is what it is called, and this is called the, so this is a power of NLP. Now, so when we are talking about NLP, what are the, so what does it do? It generates the text for you. That's the reason it is called generative. Take the word into three different segments: generative, pre-trained, transformer. Generative means the task of the generative tools. Any generative tools or GPT tools are to generate something. Maybe it will generate text, in text to text, text to image, image to video, or text to video. These are the three things which I'm going to tell you now in the next session, half of the session. So this criteria of generating is called generation. Then pre-trained. Pre-trained means train the computer with lots and lots of images, lots and lots of text, lots and lots of information so that it get trained. And then last step is transformer. Transformer means it transform the input and request, understand, take the help with the help of training, the pre-trained data which is available, it generates the context for you, which happens so fast. So this is the concept, and GPT-3 is a game changer relative to the prior two version. GPT-2 and GPT 1.5 was some version which was again used by billion people. GPT-3 has 175 billion user in the year 2022 itself. And it is now, so currently it is using the size of largest model, which is NLG model, which is developed by Microsoft, because Microsoft is owning now this. So Microsoft is working. Microsoft is feeding huge training data set to GPT-3 so that it learns from the data, and the algorithm will help in doing something called text prediction. The next letter, like how the story writer do it. So what is the kind of method which it follow to train the model? So in order to do this, they follow three methods: zero shot learning, one shot learning, and multiple shot learning. So zero shot learning is what? The same way we follow it. The zero shot, for example, I will just give you an example here when I'm talking about a zero shot learning. Okay. So let's say when I say I want to, translate, want AI to translate some word from English to French, and I just write cheese, but I don't tell the AI to do what it has to do with that. I want it. AI cannot go within my mind and read that I want AI to change, translate the word from English to French. So I just write input cheese. So it won't be able to give me an output till it has some kind of a learning, which is called zero shot learning. That means it will not give you an answer which is correct. Okay. So what happens here? So Zero shot learning is with that means there is no guidance. There is no guidance for the algorithm to know that it you want it to translate it. So what happens if you do like this? You give up one guidance. Friend is equal to ami. So English word friend in French is translated as ami. And then you ask cheese equals to, then it has some guidance which is called one shot learning. But can it be accurate? Can it give you the accurate output? Because one shot learning is also not enough. I'm just telling you students that how GPT-3 work. So GPT-3 will look into for this. They have certain guidance. If you look into the pattern of vast language model and try to find out the right answer, which may not be accurate. Finally, what we do, which happens normally, we give few short learning. It's called few short learning. We give more examples or more guidance, like house equals to mason, friend equal to Amy, then rain equals to blue. Then we give a query to GPT-3 which says now cheese equal to, and it will have a higher probability of 100% probability that it will come up with the correct word, because now it has learned from this, it has trained, it will go to its database and search what is a French word of cheese. Isn't it pretty cool? So depending on what GPT-3 is being tasked with, it shows a good result, better result if you have a few shot learning rather than zero shot or one shot learning. Okay, so this is one thing which I wanted to tell you before we go ahead with the tools, because everybody is excited actually to know about tools. But what happens? How do you use this GPT-3? How Microsoft is using this GPT-3 in Excel and Word and PowerPoint? Which I'll take a session on that, maybe the later session. And this, because next session I will tell you about tools which you can use to make your life more easy, like how you can prepare for interview and how it will give you a feedback and you have a sure shot success in interview. This is my guarantee. And what is a AI tool for that? That I will tell you in the next class. So now, so it's like what? How does it you integrate it into the other software? So you all know that you have to use a something called public API. The public API of that software should be available to these generative AI tools under certain conditions. So in 2020, Microsoft, when they tried to control the source code, they already have the source code now. They control it. They are the owner of this. So Microsoft incorporated GPT-3 capability into their products. They have not given any rights to anybody to incorporate because they want to become a market leader with Microsoft Office, which was losing slowly losing a chunk. People are using Canva or other tool, Prezi and all for making a PowerPoint. People are using some other tool for document creation. Excel is still widely used, but then this is how they wanted to stay relevant. They wanted to stay update themselves. So they have integrated now Chat GPT into Word, Excel, in Bing, the search engine of Microsoft, and also integrated into PowerPoint. I will show that in one classes. And in their cloud platform also, Azure platform, they have integrated GPT-3. So GPT-3 is becoming such a big game now, students. There are so many companies who are trying to. Now, initially, they tried to integrate it in Google Sheet. And they also, Microsoft also came up with one particular solution. So they started running GPT-3 into Google Sheet. For example, like I don't have a Google here in this. Google Sheet doesn't open properly in my Mac computer, otherwise I would have shown you. So what happens? You try this. Some cell you include. For example, you want to create a database of population of 4 states in US. Let's say like that, and you write, you know, the population of and 3 states which you have got it from the website, but one particular state you are not getting it. So what you do is you integrate GPT-3 formula. You write the 3 states of US, their population. Below that, you write some kind of a the other state in the US which you are not getting the proper population, and you use the GPT-3 formula. GPT-3 formula will search, find out if it is available on the net. It will populate the population for you without you being searching for it. So that is one of the activities of GPT-3, which I just explained. It is just a drop in the ocean, which I explained you. Then you can make a computer today. You People say we don't require coders because GPT-3 and other tool like Codex and all can develop the code. I will show you in the next session that how it can develop the code, debug your code, tell you the problems in your code. It is better than you. But you need to know how to write a proper prompt, which is called the prompt engineering. So GPT-3 can develop anything for you, explain you, and it can answer any questions for you, and it does it in a normal, it does it with a lot of accuracy. Okay, so I'm going to show you the demo of it. But before that, what is the future of GPT-3 and AI? Is it going to last for a long? Is it sustainable? So let us look at what GPT-3 may mean to customers. So many of us have already experienced the use and value of chatbots. So typically when we see in a customer services, when chatbot appear and pop up and it asks you certain questions, but normally they are fed with certain kinds of frequently asked questions. For example, you ask for product price. You will not go to a Swiggy or Zomato chatbot or a food delivery chatbot and ask for, okay, tell me about Taj Mahal, because it is not relevant. They are not fed with that. So it is something the chatbot was doing it now, that wherever they were asked questions, it was something the chatbot was created with frequently asked questions and the answers, possible answers for that. So they may assume that what customers may ask and create a pool of those questions, that's frequently asked question and answers for that. But what if the customer comes up with a complex question and the chatbot is not able to understand that? So obviously they would always understand. Sometimes when you give a call in the call center, you wonder whether you are talking to a human being or you're talking to a chatbot. So what happens? The customer support services are now using, which I'm telling not about the human customer support agent. These are the chatbots. Even in the social site or any network, in any bank sites or anywhere, when you find the chatbots, chatbot has now integrated with GPT. In case if I get more session with you, I will show you in AWS that how you can integrate chatbot and the chatbot will find answer. You don't have to feed answer. Can I repeat? You don't have to feed answer. Exciting, isn't it? You don't have to create a database of questions, probably ask questions. What are the probable answer for that? Chat GPT automatically will generate and populate the answer. So you don't have to create a database of that. So interesting it is, isn't it? So this is how the chatbots are now doing the conversation with the help of GPT. So GPT-3 is going to be the future. It has started already, and there will be no limitation. Advertisements to manufacturing, to education, content creation, programming, developing code, ranges, explanation of legal document, consultation service, translation service, medical queries, solving maths problem, news article, writing news article, blog post, website creation, everything is possible, done with the help of GPT. Companies are using GPT-3, GPT-4, sorry, for writing the marketing campaign, the tagline, the jingles for the advertisements. Songs are written, songs are sung by GPT thing. So it is becoming such a big thing. And if you say that no, I'm not going to learn about of it, then so it is not going to make you artificial. It will make you more human now. That is what is the concept. It's like again the double sword, but then don't listen to those people who say don't use GPT. I'm not saying that do some assignment and cheat your teacher, but at least you can take help. Because when you do assignment, obviously you take a help of Google or not. You take a help of Google search. How many of you would take the help of Google search? All of you, right? Or you have to go. Even your teachers will go to Google search, or your teacher will go to certain search site and find out. You want to take a PPT, prepare PPT, you'll go to SlideShare. So many sites are there where you go obtain information. It takes a lot of time to search those content, compile those content, put it in certain words in the presentation, and then create presentation. What if and the same thing you can do it with GPT-3. What happens in GPT? You just go and write a problem. I'll show you tomorrow a case study and how it will go to various sites. It will not create on its own. It will not create a fake story. So it will just create something. It will find out all the content, compile it for you, and give you. What I do is I see those content, and then I make my own. I use my own acumen, and I use on my creativity to create the content. Because ultimately it is, so it is just making your search and your effort simpler and easier and less time consuming. Now what happens with GPT-4? So GPT-4 is also using the same large language modeling concept which GPT-3 is using. But the only thing is that it is using a large LLM, little large language modeling. And in GPT-4, in GPT 3.5 or 3, 3.5 is the one which is freely available. GPT-4 is on cost. It's a premium services. So in GPT-4, again, you have to pay some around 4,000, 5,000, I think, for GPT-4 subscription. And what it does, it basically asks you, it in GPT 3.5, you can have text as an input and text as an output, text to text. But in GPT-4 onwards, you can have input as text as an image also. And output will be only in the form of text. So input, you can, the prompt engineering, you can give it in the form of text and image in GPT-4. So this is one paper which is very good. If you are interested, you can read about it. It's a Google paper. So your input can be in the form GPT-3, your 3 or 3.5, input is only text, output is also text. But in GPT-4, your input can be, and it takes actually gets the data from various resources. And its common repositories are Wikipedia, Common Crawl, and some other resource. And then use a large language modeling to generate a new content from, after deriving all this. It will take all the information from here related to what you want, and then it convert that, generate a new text for you. So this is what the GPT is doing. Okay. So what is happening now? GPT-4 is, it takes the input both in the form of text and image and give you output only in the form of text. So it is called a prediction. So like, for example, easily when you say roses are, so you will write red and violets are. You can write all these things because you know this, you've heard it a lot of time. But when for computer to predict this text, they need a lot of training. So this training comes from a large corpus of data. As I said, GPT-4 only difference is that it is more accurate. It is better than what you have. It takes the text in the form of input in the form of text and image both, and it generates the output for you. Okay, in the form of text. Now they have what GPT-4. What they did is they took one survey. In that survey, they took certain asked GPT-4 to take certain competitive exams. So they fed all the questions of these very tough competitive exams in US. And you can see here different green shades over here. The green shades is different between two models, GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. And this blue represent the previous generation and green represent the GPT-4. The previous generation is GPT 3.5. So on x-axis, you find different exams over here, different exams, very tough exams in US. And on the left-hand axis, you find the calculus, the AMC, the high school mathematics. So you have, see, on the left-hand side, extreme left-hand side is a very tough test of US, which is called AP calculus, AMC, the high school mathematical exam. Then you have English literature exam. Then you have a bar exam. So many things. And they try to find out that what is the performance of GPT-4 in taking these tests. And they can find that GPT-4 had got the higher percentile of more than 98.9 percentage. That means there is only few possibility of wrong thing. Otherwise, they're trying to make it 100% correct. So these GPT model perform best for bar test. In bar exams also, you need to take a test where they test your business acumen. Like they will give you a test which is, the lawyer will have a test which will test their knowledge and subject matter expert in the law, various kinds of law. Very difficult because there's so many laws which is existing. And how do you remember all these things? So it is very difficult to pass all these kinds of so a lot of real world bar examples and all these things are fed to train them. Just like how do you do coaching? Similarly, this coaching is done in the in order to train the GPT-4. So it can match the human level performance or do better than that. Okay, in certain case, it could just match the human level performance, but in most of the case, it has outperformed the human level performance. So this is why I told you this is to tell you that how relevant it is now. And there are so many companies who are now using GPT-4 by paying a premium subscription. Microsoft is earning millions and billions of dollars because of GPT. So this is, I'm just going to opt out of this. So then there is another platform of OpenAI. It is also, that's called Codex and DALI. Okay, Codex is very good, and Codex and DALI is for developer like you. Chat GPT is for text generation, right? You can do conversation, you can write certain text and generate content through that. But if you want to generate, even Chat GPT also can generate the coding for you. That's not a this thing. But best tool which is used for developing the code is Codex. Okay, so Codex is only better for coding. It doesn't do anything, whereas ChatGPT will do everything. It will develop the code also for you. It will generate the poem also for you, story for you. It will write the email application, leave application for you. It will, suggest the best book for Python or something you have asked for it. It will create a, content for you for your blog or for your video, for your advertisement campaign and all. So it has been trained to do like that. Whereas the Codex is something which the coders are using more than the chat GPT to develop the code or help them in developing codes. Okay, with using Java, HTML, or Python, or maybe Node.js or SQL, something any like that, it does it like this. Okay, so let me now. Any questions so far, students? Yeah, any questions? So was it? Let's now go into some examples of generative AI. Okay, so let me start one more slide to stop sharing this. Okay, let me see in the chat. Okay. 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 So now we're going to talk about something which is very interesting, which is going to see certain use of AI. How do we use AI and how does the company is using AI? Let us look into some example of it, okay? Some generative AI. Because so much of talk about this. Before I tell you the tools of AI, we should also know how the companies are using AI. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay. So let's see the use of generative AI now. Okay. So already I've told you about how generative AI is used basically for in November 2022, how GPT has captured the imagination of the consumer, the enterprises, the leader, and they showed the potential of generative AI so that people started becoming, it became such a trending and popular, product among everybody and everybody started using it. But as the name suggests, generative AI generate what? Does it generate only text? No, it can generate image, it can generate a music. Recently, I was hearing that one of the song which was sung by the person who died, what was his name? One singer who I think recently died. I'm not able to remember his name. And his particular very Bajrangi Bhaijan song, very popular song, was replaced or it was sung by a particular singer in that movie. Now, and actually for that particular song, they have approached Arijit Singh. But Arijit Singh could not sing that song because of some his prior engagement, and that person, I'm not able to remember the name, but that person sang that particular song. And when song was sung, and it became a very popular number. So they created the same song and produced the same song in Arijit Singh voice. But Arijit Singh has not sang the song. How did they do it? They could not release it publicly because they have to obtain certain rights from the songwriter and the director for doing that, but they use that. So what I mean to say that you can develop music, you can make a video, you can do everything. I'm going to give you a demo in the next class. So generative AI is a new concept. It's a machine learning technique, and it has evolved so much by transforming not only text into text but into text into image. So there are so many product students which has come out, and the examples of similar kind of products in the GPT, for example, if you can see here, these all images which you see in the movies are generated nowadays by AI. There's so many things which is happening. So model like GPT-3, BERT, I don't know how many of a word about BERT, T5, DALI E, these are something which require a short prompt for you, and it can generate an essay. It can DALI can generate an image for you, which I will show you, and it will show you. It is based on what you're asking them to show, and whether it is able to interpret it in the same way and the same context the way you are asking. So generative AI algorithm can be used to create any kind of content, including audio, codes, coding, image, text, simulation, video, and you can do anything with that. So, okay, I'm just going to omit this. This is how this all images I've created from, generative AI. Just posted it here before I can show you the demo of it. I created this all image. This was there, a single image, a GIF image, but I converted it into some other background and all. And then this image of flower with my description. So whatever description I will give, according to that, it understand and create that particular image. So that is how the generative AI is designing and coming up with a creativity. You can actually add a nice background music track from a podcast, or you can create altogether a new, music. You can use a vocal which are available in that particular what you call the generative AI tool, which I will show you, and you can develop any vocal which is available. You can do the narrative of somebody. You don't want to use your own voice, you can just capture somebody else's voice which is available in that particular tool. They will have sample voice. You can just choose any voice and give a narration, and it will speak in that voice for you. You can use somebody else's avatar. You can make your own avatar and do that, which I will show you. Okay, so this is how the generative AI, the most important thing for you student is to know about prompt engineering. It is very important that all of you learn about prompt engineering. All of you know that if you do a course on prompt engineering, you take a word from me that there is a guaranteed job for you in IT industry. They want people who know prompt, because you don't have to now create AI tools. You have to know how to work with this AI tool, and how to work with this AI tool is possible only when you know the prompt engineering. Okay, like this, if you see here, okay, I have created this image from DALI E, the Microsoft. It is free with certain images, certain settings. Otherwise, all these are premium. Most of these tools are free, but certain features are premium. So I just created this image, a brown horse with a white stripe. I wanted to create this. So when I want to search Google, I search a brown horse with this. I didn't get any proper image. But when I went to DALI E and I wrote this prompt, let's see my prompt, a brown horse with a white strip. Okay. And it gave me this image. And this looks a real horse. It doesn't look like any artwork or something like that. So then again, I wrote in the prompt DALI E that I want a painting of a blue horse. Have you ever seen a blue horse? A blue horse walking on a stretch of the bridge over a river, tunnel. So, and in the night, there is a blue sky. I have to give the prompt very clearly. And this is how it has shown. So basically, the content creation, how well you do the prompt engineering, depending on that, it will generate the image for you, and you can keep on modifying till you get a better image. It can generate a music for you, a song for you, or an instrumental music for you. The main thing what you have to do is idea, and ideation also you can do it with that. For example, for marketing campaign, you want a good idea, you don't know, you want to make a poster, you don't know what is the content, you just write, I want to make a poster for my college fest, and my college fest has this highlight I want to do, because you know to know what you want to highlight, or my college fest has these features. And immediately what will happen is the chat gpt sorry even the chat gpt and daddy e will make a poster for you. Even in Canva also you have a AI feature now, which is called AI magic write. And AI magic write, if you don't know what slogan you want to write, what phrase, even for your Instagram post, what hashtag you want to put, or whatever the line you want to put in the post, the creative line which you're searching, people are using now this Canva AI magic tool, AI writing magic writing tools. So like this, every product which is famous is now, or popular, is using now this. I was going through one student project where he said that, ma'am, I want to create a picture using AI tool, but I don't want to, I want to use faces which are not matching with anybody who's live. So the person should not exist. Nobody should say that it is me, you have used my face. So there is something called one tool called the person does not exist. This is a site where you can go and you can describe that you want an Indian person with brown skin, with a white skin or a blue eye or brown eye, with long hair or whatever you want to make it. You describe and it will make a particular picture for you, generate an image for you, which will not match with any of the existing images of anybody, because all our images are there on net. You can't say, no, no, I'm not there, my picture doesn't come. It will be there because you are in certain so many identification thing, driving license, your Aadhaar card, all these are there. So these generative AI tool will search for all these things and then create an image which is unique in its own nature. So one of the major important focus of the generative AI is that it create a unique content. Okay, and you can do that. So now we require a people, or those IT skills where people, where the IT people can join hand with computers, and they can work with computer instead of getting scared. So the new countless count of creative field are using generative AI. Like for example, social media for the companies, advertisement, marketing, product designing, gaming, films, television, music, fashion. Recent movie called the recent movie which is I think on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I don't know, yesterday I was seeing that, called Archies. And I was fascinated to see that because in my school time I used to read and I was crazy about Archie book, the comic book. I wanted to see that, and I tried to research on this, and I found that they have used a generative AI tool to create certain kind of image and the background of the music, which looks little, which gives you a nostalgic feeling to those people who have read or who have experienced the comic book of Archie's. This is how they were doing this. So this is AI tools the ability to create text and image, video, which is very creative in nature. But the prompting should be correct. Okay. So this is what I wanted to tell you, people. So these are the field in which even in the fashion also they are using it. All kinds of creative industry they're using it, so that they can get a better idea. So there are three kinds of generative AI tool: text-based generative AI tools, where your input is in the form of text, and like Chat GPT, and you get output in the form of text. So you just write that and it gives you that. So like for example, like this, so it generate the text, it translate your language, it will give you some information, it will summarize one content of research. For example, you have a about 50-page article, and you want to just don't want to read all the 50-page article, you want to summarize it. You want to read it, but you don't want to read so much. So it will summarize the content. ChatGPT does that for you. It will do ideation and brainstorming for you. Okay, you can create a slogan for your, for your ad campaign. You can create a very creative posters for your ad campaign. You can create a contract with the ad campaign. You can write a resume. You just have to write your qualification, whatever you want to highlight, your skills. That it will create a thing for you. And so that's called the text based generation. You can just take out the content of any blog or any website, and chat gpt, it will just summarize it for you in a simple manner. Okay, and then the next one is called DALI E, which is, or one example is DALI E, but text to image generative AI. Text to image generative AI is a type of AI where you write text as an input and you get the output in the form of visuals or images. So it will contain and it will create an image for your marketing purpose, your product designing, your social media. You remember the Coca-Cola bottle? The Coca-Cola bottle was designed by a painter, the shape of Coca-Cola bottle, because he imagined the shape of a figure of a lady, and he depicted that in the form, in the bottle, in the form of painting. Even iPad 1, when it came, a painter designed the design of the product. So design of the product, the packaging is so important for companies to, and that is a part of marketing. So today you can do it without wasting so much of time by doing trial error method, showing it to the client doesn't like, again you do it. You can do it easily with your generative AI tools. So you can generate an image for your marketing. So DALI E work like ChatGPT. And again, it is like OpenAI has built, now it is owned by Microsoft. So DALI E can create image with a wide varieties of concept, tone, and style. You can just keep on changing, and the till you get image which is created. Like for example, a beautiful sunrise with a palm tree or the fig tree. I will show you that in the next class, and I will show you this is what I generated. I will tell you. I just prompted the DALI E to create an image. I just first give a prompt that I want a sunset. So it gave me this first image. Then I said that I want the sun to be clearly visible. I don't want leaves. So it gave me these kinds of image. Then I said, I don't want a dark color over here. I want some bluish this color. And I tried changing. Ultimately, I got this particular thing where everything is little dull, but the sunset is properly visible. So this is how you can. This is also the image which I created with DALI E. I'll show you the plant with a tree with a sunset in the background. So this one, and they ultimately I like this one. So we keep on changing. Ultimately, you get this, and you can erase certain contents. You can add certain contents. For example, you can add birds. You can add something to this particular thing. So you can keep on doing things. It's just like a painter who will keep on modifying it. But once it is made, you can't do anything. But in generative AI, you can do a lot of things. So there's a lot of technology behind this. So I'm not going to talk much about the techniques behind this, but there's one more, very good, generative AI tool called Stable Diffusion, and it is better than actually DALI E because it will give you a picture which is very accurate with a resolution which you can use on website. You can have a graphic form of picture. You can have a real photo in PNG or GPG format or SVG for your websites, or you can have. A picture with a picture which you want to use for your website or blog or maybe a post, or you can just modify your picture. You can develop a paint graphic out of it. So all kinds of different kinds of pictures it can generate it for you with how you want to do it. So stable diffusion is much better. These are all images which I developed from stable diffusion for a fashion show model which I wanted to use in my one of my e-commerce site. And so this is what the image which I got it, so it did not have any copyright issue. So and this is how you can actually. So DALI is Stable Diffusion and Mid Journey. Mid Journey is very popular nowadays. Maximum number of people, most of the people are using DALI, but most of the people doesn't know about Mid Journey. I'm going to tell all these tools in the next class. Okay, let me see the timing. So in the next class, what I'm going to do is. So in the next class, what I can do is I will tell you what I will teach you about Dali E, Mid Journey, and all these. I'll show you. Then one premium version is there, which is very good for professionals, and this is called Adobe Firefly Beta. This is a premium version. You have to subscribe for it. And this is one of the best tool which I've seen. Just like a Photoshop, in Photoshop, you have to give the input in the form of the picture, but it will generate the pictures. And then you can modify it. So the best one, you can start from Delhi E in the, for a beginner level. Stable diffusion you can use, Midjourney you can use. If you want to use for professional purpose, then use Adobe Firefly. You have to subscribe for it. So text to image generation, these are also certain other tools which you can say, you can find out on the internet. Okay, these are some important terms. So I'm just going to see here how it generate the tools, how you can just go ahead and you can change the things like for the eye of the color, the skin tone, the skin face features, the hair tone, the hair color, or everything you can just change with the help of the image generation tools. So this is also something you can create the image of a person with at a different age level. That also you can do that. So you can show the graphic form and painting form of that. You can use different kinds of backgrounds, a dark or a light background. So many things you can do it with these kinds of image to image generation. So this is basically there are certain image to image generation where you can put an image and you can generate a better image of that. You know, a better form. For example, I just put the dog, my dog picture, you know, the Labrador, and I wanted a kind of a very unique graphic output, which is very modern art kind of output. It gave me several trial and method I used, and ultimately in sixth or seventh attempt, I got this